Hey, what's going on? This is Thomas Galdenzi with Combat Sports Coverage. And on this edition, I'll be interviewing light heavyweight boxing champion Alfonso Lopez over his upcoming title fight March 6th at Galveston, Texas for Tigre Boxing Promotions. So, Alfonso, tell me how your training camp is going so far, about 1 week out from this big title defense.
Oh man, everything's everything. Can't complain. Everything has been fabulous. We had some tough sparring down in Houston. I really can't complain. The body feels good. The mind is ready, and we're excited about April 6th.
And tell me, where and who have you been training with for this fight?
I trained at a couple of different gyms in Houston. I was partnered up with the guys at Lopez Boxing Gym in Baytown. They give me lots of rounds of sparring. And then O Athletic down in the Heights. It's a great facility if no one's ever been there. And there's two young light heavyweights, which is Christian Montano. He's actually going to be on our card there in Galveston. And then Joe George, the Phenom. He's another great fighter out of that camp. And those guys gave me tons of rounds. Young guys, hungry guys. And they were just eager, and I was excited to get great work from those guys.
Well, that's great to hear. It's always good to be training with some young lions that are up and coming in the sport and that are ready to put on a show. And so tell me, how do you see this fight playing out? Do you see you winning this fight by TKO, a knockout, or is it going to be an all-out war?
Honestly, I take every fight, with a lot of just smarts, and I try to go in with a boxing game plan. You know what I mean? I try to set traps and make guys, make mistakes and make them pay. But I'm never looking for knockouts. Every time I go in there looking for a knockout, I just never look good. You know what I mean? So, over the course of my career, it's always been to put punches together, stay fast, stay sharp. But with all that said, the work that's been done, we should see a knockout. We should definitely have a knockout that night. I've trained too hard. The guys have pushed me too hard in the gym. I pushed myself incredibly hard. And then, and we're winning. And how that happens, I'm not sure, but we're winning the fight.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear, especially to hear that you don't look for the knockout when you do have 23 wins by knockout, which is pretty amazing. So that's awesome. But I guess you're just going to touch them up and let your hand speed do all the work, and hopefully that knockout comes for you. And then tell me, since you are fighting at light heavyweight, how much weight do you typically cut?
Oh man, about 7 to 8 pounds.
Okay.
I'm not the biggest of light heavyweights. That's why sometimes, but I feel good here. I feel physically strong. If you think when I was making, I just got in the weight room a little bit. And I've been trying to add a little bit more just muscle, but good muscle. Nothing that's going to slow me down. I don't want to lose any speed. But you got to do it right. I'm not a guy that's going to tell you the weight room isn't for a fighter. Weight room is for a fighter. You just got to you got to know how to do it properly. And so I feel good. And it's not an easy. It's not hard to make at all. So I have a good time, and so I stay comfortable.
Yeah, and it's coming from the boxing world. I know from we do a lot of MMA recovering on here, and a lot of those MMA guys, they will cut anywhere from 20 to 15 pounds the day of the fight, which sometimes I feel like that could be hurting your performance more than benefiting your performance. So that's good to hear that you're not cutting too much weight. And then tell me, what do you see your opponent, and your opponent, Vincent, what do you think is his biggest strength that he brings as a boxer to this match?
Yeah, he brings just the everything that he does is just technically sound. Keeps his hands in position. He gives you the proper distance and the proper mechanics of doing everything real straight. And he keeps a good tight shell. So I think that the things that he does very well in with his style is that he never falters from that. He keeps his hands in position. He stays with the jab, and he does all the mechanics very, very right and very fundamental. And so you're gonna have to break his rhythm somehow, and you got to fake him into making moves that he doesn't really want to make, and then take advantage when he's out of position.
Yeah, that sounds like it's going to be a great fight. Everyone definitely needs to be tuning in for this main event because it is two great boxers that are going to put on a great show. And I definitely see you getting your hand raised, but I definitely think it's going to be a great fight for everyone to tune in to watch. And then for everyone that's listening, what is your biggest strength as a boxer? Is it your speed? Is it your power? Is it your footwork? Or is it your heart?
Yeah. I think, sometimes I run off the heart a little bit too much. And then as of the last couple of years I've been trying to, make myself be a much smarter fighter, control the 3 minutes, control the rounds. And I don't know if that happens as you become a veteran in the sport. You start to understand that, listen, you can't just run off your heart the whole time and run this gas tank that you have, or this heart rate that you have extremely high, and then throttle it back down and then go do it again. You gotta have some smarts and some skills. That's why it is the sweet science. And so, I think from now, where I am now, I would say it's the little cons that I do in the ring that are subtle and it's not overly flashy, but they're little moves that I make in the ring that I can do in the inside and I can do in the outside that really frustrate a guy, and then it really gets them to open up and then sets them up for a big punch or a quick punch that that hurts them. Like you said, I have lots of knockouts. I never really am looking for them, but when I hit someone right, I can hurt them, and if I hurt them, then I'll finish them.
That's exciting. I cannot wait. You're getting me goosebumps just thinking about you guys going in there throwing some heavy shots at each other. It's very exciting. And then tell me, after, let's say if everything does go well in this fight, you do get another amazing knockout or another decision win. How do you, what's next for you?
I mean, I've already kind of, being my own promoter, Tigre Promotions, we're putting on these fabulous shows, not only for myself, but for young fighters in the Houston area, Texas area that are excited, who are building fan bases, and they're just trying to gain that momentum in their career that really gets them going. And so, I've booked another show already. I've got it scheduled with the state of Texas. It's going to be in the middle of July, and my plan is to stay busy. Obviously the ultimate goal is to fight, the elites of the elites in the divisions, and so, and we'll just keep knocking on that door. And if I got to keep myself busy and I got to keep staying in Texas and I got to keep fighting for myself, I've got no problem. I'm doing a fabulous job. I'm putting on great shows where, everybody's loving the fights, from top to bottom, from the opener to the main event. And so, I have no room to complain. And I'm just biding my time. I'll keep knocking on the door. And when that door is answered, we most definitely be ready and excited about it. And then we'll move on from there.
And speaking of your boxing promotion, El Tigre, tell me a bit about that. I mean, you are also a world champion boxer. You also coach boxing, and you're also a boxing promoter. Tell me, how do you find all that time to do all these amazing things?
Well, first off, it starts with a great team behind you. I got two incredible partners, Felix Ramirez and Christopher Stahl. They're the two longtime guys that have been in my, been around my boxing career from the start. Felix Ramirez is my assistant trainer, and so, he was with me through the amateurs, now as the pros. And so we've been hammering this out for years. And so when we decided to do Tigre Promotions, when I was kind of come up with the idea and I run it by him, he's like, dude, I'm in, let's do it. We can definitely do some fabulous stuff for a lot of young fighters. We'll keep ourselves busy and, and we'll just keep knocking on the door. And so it kind of started off as a little bit of a, just kind of like, I don't know, man, you think we should? And then it just went to Chris came in, we're like, man, we're in, let's do it. And we just kind of ran with it, and it's been great. Now, balancing it all, those guys, I lean on them a lot, especially when I'm on the card. When I'm not on the card, I got a lot more play, but when I'm on the card, it's a different story because I'm more focused on just me and my training, and then, so yeah, I run my gym, and so I got clients that I consistently see and young fighters that I coach. And so I'm just in the gym daily. So I'm answering the phone calls, I'm answering the emails between sessions, and it stays busy. It's high level, but I enjoy it. We have a good time, and I think when you enjoy doing something and you're having really a lot of fun doing it, it never really stresses you out. You know what I mean? And so we make it work, and because of the family and because of my partners, that's how it really gets done.
That's awesome to hear. I could definitely see it being really very stressful, being a boxer and all that. So that's awesome to hear. You have a great team behind you and helping you guys move forward. And everyone definitely needs to tune into your events because you are putting on great boxing events in Galveston, Texas, in Houston, Texas, all over. And they are great shows. Everyone needs to tune in and watch those shows, especially your April 6th show that is coming up, next Saturday night, which is going to be epic. And then tell me, other than you on that card, who are some other other fighters that we all need to keep our eyes on for that card?
Well, there's a lot of really young, up-and-coming fighters from the area that are really getting their opportunity that, we've put on several of our shows. Armando Frosto is a big name. He'll be on just before me. here's a kid who suffered a loss in his last fight, but was really, he's just technically such a just incredible fighter. He fought a veteran who pushed him a little bit, a little bit hard, and I thought it was really close when I went back and watched it, but he dropped the decision, and he's working his back his way back into the mix. We got Roger Ibarra who's coming on the show. He fought, incredible fighter. Ivan Vasquez. And then, like I said, one of my sparring partners, Christian Montano, is going to be on the show, and here's a guy who's promoted and managed by Cameron Duncan. And when they they wanted to, they seen the shows and they're excited about him, and so I've been sparring with him, and the kid is he's talented. He's a great fighter, but there's just from top to bottom, you're not going to get a bad fight. You're going to see a lot of technical fighters. You're going to see a lot of aggression from some of these young guys. They're in some 4-round fights. They're early in their career, so they're always they come with that high energy. They just want to jump in there and get after it. And it's going to be really good. We got a pro debut and a guy named Nick Barnhill, and I'm excited to see how this kid performs. He's got an amazing social media following, and he's got really good skills and heavy hands. And I'm excited to see what he can do. So just from top to bottom, I think everybody will enjoy the show, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, I know. I can't wait. And I know everyone's very excited for it around the Houston and Galveston area because it's going to be an epic show like always. And then tell me, looking back on your amazing 29-3 boxing career so far, what is your most favoriteest fight or moment that you look back and you will always remember, like, man, that was a great fight or that was a great win?
Yeah. There was a lot of tough fights and exciting fights that I had. Obviously the Kelly Pavlik fight was a big one for me. I'll always remember that fight because, he was the veteran in the game. He was the undisputed middleweight world champion. We fought up at 170. And, I learned a lot from him. I learned, he showed me all those things and now I know, myself, but he showed me then and I didn't adjust them and, and I lost that fight. But, I lost that fight. I learned a lot. That fight will always be a big memory of mine just because it was a Mosley-Pacquiao undercard. It was a big show. It's in Vegas, pay-per-view. So I think, one of that fight, even though it was a loss, it was such a highly contested bout that, it's always going to hold a good memory in my heart, and then, and another exciting fight that I had was on the Canelo Kirkland undercard on my comeback fight. And then that night I tore my rotator cuff and I'm in extremely pain in the first round and I knocked the guy out with a left hook. And, that one's always going to hold something because I was just remember sitting in that round one going like, I got no right hand. This guy is very slick. And how am I going to get him out of here with just one hand? And he run into a left hook, and I was like, man, don't get up. And he didn't, but, I was right to surgery, and I had some more time off. And, it's been an up and down roller coaster for me. But, I continue to put one foot in front of the other, keep my head up high, keep making great content, start the promotional company. And, boxing is what we love to do, and that's what we're doing.
That's crazy to hear that you tore your rotator cuff up and still got the win. That's awesome. Everyone needs to go look that fight up because I know I'm about to after this interview because that sounds awesome. And then, do you have any special shout-outs or any sponsors you want to thank?
All our sponsors, I got a great list of sponsors. You can't put these shows on without them. Anglia Homes is one of them that comes to mind because they've been there for every show that I've done. They're always there. They're out of Houston. They're a great home building community, and they build great houses. And so the Manners, Thomas Manners, Mike Manners, those guys, I got to thank them enough for always supporting our shows. Our big sponsor for April 6th though is Apollon Formularies. If you're not familiar with Apollon Formularies, go check it out. They're bringing the hemp, the hemp oils and the hemp seed and here to Texas, and they got a great product that helps with the CBD, and that's kind of the new thing for health and things like that. You got to go check them out. They're doing amazing things, and on top of that, all our usuals. Terrenos Houston is a Houston land developer. They're putting up amazing homes in the community of Houston. I got to thank them. They bought this beautiful ring mat for April 6th. You'll see it. It's fancy. It looks great. The show is going to be incredible, but we have lots of sponsors that I know I'll forget. GC Electric, they're always supported us big time. And so, as I'm thinking, I'm trying to run it through my head. I should have wrote all those guys down because, 3R is another one. 3R, if you're not familiar with 3R stem cells, oh man, these guys, what they're doing with stem cells now, I mean, is amazing. You know, you come in, you got like a, you know, you can have a tear. You can have something that's just debilitating. I mean, like that you just think like, man, I'm out, I'm done. They're going in there, they're giving some injections with these stem cells, and they're just healing guys and athletes and just, I mean, just every day helping people out. You know, I got to thank my Finish First team. You know, they're chiropractic. My wife works there, and she's got this machine by the New Fit by Newbie, and it's a Newbie machine by New Fit, and it's incredible. It's if anybody don't know, check out New Fit and learn about it. It's changing how athletes recover. It's changing, you know, how people are overcoming the autoimmune diseases and things of that nature, and you know, being in wheelchairs and starting to walk again. It's a credible device. I mean, I can't brag on that thing enough because, you know, I get to jump on it every day, and so, you know, it's an amazing. Check it out if you can, and but you know, big thanks to all of them. I'll forget some, I know, but you know, I'm being put on the spot, and I didn't write any notes, but no, I appreciate it, and I want to thank all of them. They know who they are. They've always been there, and I'm excited about it.
Definitely, and everyone needs to definitely check out all those sponsors because they all seem great, and everyone needs to make sure to check out this epic boxing title fight where 29-3 Alfonso Lopez will be defending his NBA light heavyweight title April 6, 2019 in Galveston, Texas. And thank you again for coming on the show and letting me get this interview with you, and I look forward to watching your fight, and I cannot wait to see it.
Hey man, well, I appreciate the coverage. You know, it's always, you know, we owe big thanks to the guys like you who come out here and, you know, take the time to interview us and get our word and promote us a little bit. And, you know, it always helps to reach more people. And so big thanks to you guys, and we appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you April 6th in Galveston.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to it. And everyone, make sure to stay tuned and make sure to check out this epic boxing fight.